Welcome back to This Week in Agribusiness. We're talking about the importance of this season. It's generally farm show season, not this year. It's an important season for key business decisions. Oh, it's calving season and cattle hedging season.
It sure is. Max had the chance while at the Iowa Ag Expo to talk with Scott Hodney of Producers Livestock about how they managed their hedges this last year and what they're looking for going forward.
When we're trading cattle, really and truly, the only thing we're looking at is the basis. If it's a positive or negative basis, and we have a 10-year basis chart every 15 days that is kind of my Bible to market cattle with, and I'm looking at that saying, hey, we're above the normal basis or below the normal basis. And lately in the last month, we've had a very negative basis, and so our hedge guys are kind of holding cattle, waiting for this basis to come together. And if it doesn't come together next week, we can start delivering cattle, and we are definitely not afraid to deliver cattle to the Board of Trade. In fact, I enjoy doing it because it keeps everything honest.
It does. That's one of the ways the market inspires transparency is you get the actual product.
That's right. And in 15, I marketed 80 loads to Worthing, South Dakota, the month of October, and then about another 40 in December. So I am not afraid to do it, and now we have West Point, Nebraska available to us, which is really a benefit too. And so it's closer for me to go to West Point with most of mine.
So Scott, with the producers you've worked with, I mean, you see these cattle from really start to finish, coming off the grass, going into the yards, and then hopefully being marketed. And this past year was a big challenge for a lot of cattle feeders as their marketing opportunities dried up with COVID.
Absolutely. Couple things that happened. Number one, the big time, most of the time of the year, your prime season to hedge cattle for the whole year is the February 15th to March 10th area. I always say, whatever you do, have them hedged by the 10th and no later than the 15th. Well, this year that was right when COVID hit, and it just killed us. And so we didn't get a lot of cattle hedged that we would have otherwise. So that's one thing. Then the second thing was with the plants going down, just getting cattle in on a timely basis. And we had a little more pull on that than the average producer just because we do market a lot of cattle. I'm not saying I could get everybody in. I had a lot of people that were calling me because they knew I was getting cattle scheduled, but they weren't a customer. Well, I'm sorry to say I had to take care of the people that take care of me all the time first.
Also had the chance to catch up with Jeff Longnecker of Longnecker Fertilizers and a cattle feeder from Iowa about his experience this past year and what his expectations are for feed costs in 2021.
Hopefully they all pre-bought their corn. I know that's what we did, but we're going to be short a little bit, and it looks like we're going to probably pay $5.40, $5.50 for some corn, and we have to. That's definitely going to cut into the small profit margin there already is there. This cattle thing really since 16 has been very tough. It's been a hit and miss. A lot of guys, as I travel the country, feedlots I know where they were, where they have been for years. A lot of them, there's not a hoof in there.
Empty lots, and an empty pen is a position, Jeff.
Yes, that's right. And the cattle feeder in general is an older person. And, you know, as you get older, gosh, do I want to risk $1 million every 6 months to a year, you know. I see a lot of that changing, heading more toward the big feedlots.
Thanks to those guys for talking to us, and hopefully 2021 turns out to be a better year than 2020 for our friends in the cattle feeding industry.